What is a red flag in women and men you should dodge? Number 1. When nothing is ever their fault, it's always someone else's, especially when it comes to past relationships. If everyone they ever dated was an asshole, you're just the next in line to be an asshole. Number 2. One of my exes literally gave me a list of her red flags if I dated her. Obviously, you can figure out what happened. Number 3. When they tell you a story that they think makes them look good, but they're clearly the bad guy in it and they don't realize. Number 4. When interests and life goals turn out to be 100% the same as yours after you have shared yours, or changes as you talk about what is important to you. Number 5. Really jealous. Everyone has a tiny bit or none at all, but people really jealous will make your life hell. Number 6. When you are the only one who is always giving in the relationship without it being reciprocated, leaving you to feel constantly drained. Just to be clear, it is not the other person's job to make you feel good, but relationships are about balance. When you are the only one doing the work, time for you to work on yourself. Number 7. Something I mention often. If they can't handle themselves when you're not available. What I mean by that is if you want to go do something else and they take that as a personal insult and badger you the entire time you're doing it. You both must be cool with having your own time, space, hobbies without the other one freaking out about it. Number 8. Here's a short list. Number 1. Never apologize. 2. Nothing is their fault. 3. Rude to people. 4. Making you feel bad because they want something. 5. Expecting you to know what the issue is without communicating. 6. Not listening to your needs. 7. Falling out with friends and family a lot. 8. Unable to manage their money. 9. Thinking people are always out to get them. Number 9. They cannot accept that they were wrong about something. My boyfriend has a buddy that cannot stop trying to argue his point, and when he is shown evidence, he tries to flip the script and say that was what he was trying to say all along. Number 10. Anyone who is overly critical of others. They're insecure and competitive and rarely happy. Number 11. Threatening to harm themselves or saying that you're the thing stopping them from doing it. Number 12. Test her laugh. If you can't tolerate her laugh, it won't work. Number 13. I think constantly mentioning what her ex was doing and how their relationship was. I did not get it first and thought it was normal, but I once understood it was a red flag when I got dumped for no reason. Number 14. Hugely disproportionate reactions to benign things or small mistakes. Number 15. Rudeness to waiters in customer service and other retail personnel. Number 16. My ex had 0 girlfriends. She had a rotating collection of guy friends, but no women ever wanted to spend time with her. She'd occasionally make a female friend at work or church, but quickly that friendship would sour without logical explanation. Her collection of guy friends were really just options she kept on the back burner while she entertained the relationship. She made me believe that her guy friends were people she'd known forever, but that was only the case with her ex-boyfriends that she kept around. She would conveniently omit that she dated these guys and say things like, "I love Nick. I've been friends with him since college." But never say that they dated on and off. She kept each of these guys on the hook by being emotionally intimate, in some cases physically intimate, with them, and constantly asking for favors. Eventually, the guys would get sick of being treated like an option and lash out, so she'd find a new one to invest time in. Number 17. Boundary violations. I'm a therapist and I work a lot with clients trying to date healthier people. I always say assert your boundaries early, assuming they aren't ludicrous. Green flag equals person respects them. Red flag equals they don't respect, criticize them, complain, and so on. I usually start the discussion with clients about useful boundaries with these 2 boundaries. Number 1, maintain your routine. You go to bed at a certain amount of time, then maintain that. Usually this will involve having to end chats or go home early. Green flag, they respect it or try a little negotiation but ultimately respect you. Red flag, they complain, make fun of you, treat it like a rejection or punish you by icing you out for a bit. You need to GTFO. Number 2, limit dates and hangouts to 2 to 3 times a week for early dating. Red flags will try to suck your time and will respond similar to the above red flag responses. Green flags probably won't want to see you more than 2 to 3 times because they have a life too. Number 18. An extremely high body count. Number 19. Look for a woman who is close to or had a good relationship with her dad. If she didn't, and she got done wrong by other men, every other man in her life will be paying for that. Number 20. Even when the subject is something else, he somehow connects with himself and finally tells about something he experienced himself, talking about himself all the time, interrupting other people's conversations and giving an example of himself, trying to give you advice on a subject without being asked for his opinion. In short, all narcissistic attitudes. Number 21. The number one thing I look for in all people when building relationships, friends, spouses, significant others, businesses, is if they are all selfish. I can tolerate almost all things but this. It is basically the root of all evils of a personality, in my opinion. It is actually fairly easy to spot on pretty early, as selfish people can't hold it in that long. It comes out in so many ways. Number 22. Never wants to talk on phone, only text. Also, always wants to meet at your place, not his. Never wants to go out, orders taken. He either has a girlfriend or wife and kids. Number 23. Women who are still close friends with their long-term ex and communicate with him regularly while still in a relationship with you. Just an FYI for anyone being gaslit, she has lingering feelings. Had to learn that one the hard way. Number 24. I would say look out for any person who is preachy, politically correct, or takes the moral high ground and really who finds offense in everything. Like if they constantly pull up others on their morals, political views, use of language, watch them as they'll do the exact same PC incorrect stuff themselves. So to me, it's a sign of them needing to feel superior and put others in their place. It's a control thing. They don't truly care for the causes or groups they so readily defend, but use it as a way to condemn others. Again, it's a very much a control thing and manipulate. Number 25. Here is an easy list that applies to both. Love bombing and pushing to move the relationship too fast. People who sympathize with cheaters or abusers or try to excuse the behavior. Their way or the highway. Nothing is ever their fault. If it is their fault, it's your fault they did it. Stealing. If they steal from others or just businesses, they'll steal from you too. Asking for money early in the relationship, especially if it's a large sum. Past history of cheating. Lies. Even if it's something small, if they are lying early and the lies get bigger and a lot more severe as time goes on. They are in a different stage of life than you, regardless of age. For example, you're ready to settle down and they want to party or hang out with friends all the time, or vice versa. If you're not on the same page, the relationship is likely doomed anyway. Cut ties early and don't waste each other's time. They try to intimidate or threaten you. They don't respect your boundaries, especially if it's physical. They have a very high debt-to-income ratio. Always remember, once you're married or cohabitating, it isn't just their debt anymore. It drags both of you down and will be a continuous strain on both of your finances. They are emotionally erratic, especially if the behavior makes you feel threatened or unsafe, regardless of if the explosive emotion is directed at you. Someday, it will be. If they react to things generally with explosive and anger or crying when it's not really warranted, they are not a good life partner. They have kids with multiple other people, especially if they don't have custody or aren't paying support. They treat their animals poorly, be it abuse or neglect. If they can't take care of a fish or a dog, they won't be able to take care of you or your potential kids. They're disinterested in life and have no interests, hobbies, or ambition. While this is more of a personal choice thing, life progresses and people that are fine with sitting in the status quo, in my experience, kind of get locked there mentally. I don't date people who don't seem to have a lot of potential for growth. Number 26. Propensity to keep talking although it's someone else's turn, or interrupting, or simply raising their voice. People who, in other words, just try to talk through everyone else. Number 27. Love bombing. Honeymoon phase is real, but when they constantly try to win your affections, even when it makes you uncomfortable, nope the F out. It will turn into an abusive relationship. Number 28. Honestly, there could be red flags that you are blind to, especially at the early stages of dating. So after a few dates, bring that person to hang out with your friends so your friends can point out red flags to you. Number 29. Guys who punch things or slam doors or yell or do something else physical when they get overrun with emotions. It means they have no healthy coping mechanisms or ability to otherwise express their feelings other than violent outbursts. Not saying all of them will put their hands on you, but you're never going to have reasonable conflict resolution. Number 30. A red flag in a potential partner should be any behavior that makes you feel uncomfortable or disrespected. Trust your instincts and don't ignore warning signs. What was your favorite story? Let me know in the comments or share your own. Like and subscribe, and catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.